Hey everybody, this is your friend Snazzy Noob coming at you with a brand new video on the Mustard Cat 141 YouTube channel. Giving you another great video to enjoy. Sit back, relax, and have some laughs. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to share and comment down below and tell all your friends about this fucking video. Catch you in the next video. I'm about to do some cool shit.
But I'm still gonna shoot my shot like a 2-2-3. She the type of bitch that pass around to the whole team. Trying not to fall in love. She belong to the streets. My daddy ain't just like me. Fall in love with every big titty bitch he see. Mama know she raised a G, but I'm a sucker for the
like and subscribe.
Merkmusic.
What's up, guys?
Hot take, guys. Hot take, guys. What do you think of Merkmusic? Because Merkmusic is like, we know the backstory. I mean, if people don't know the backstory of Merkmusic, it's insane. We'll watch these two videos. It was insane.
If you clicked on this video, you probably...
I already watched this, and this was, oh my god, 2 years ago. Insane. I guess we could watch this to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, we'll watch back to these, and I'll put this as a YouTube video.
Do you remember what YouTube was like in the early 2010s? Creators like KYR Speedy, Vanos Gaming, and Merkmusic were at the top of the charts daily. And there was a reason for that. This was a YouTube before creators had to tiptoe around demonetization. And in fact, it was the opposite. If you didn't have your full personality and a nice dynamic with your crew, you weren't even going to be considered to be on the top of the charts. And this is exactly what made Merkmusic so damn good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What's a Merkmusic? Well, if you clicked on this video, you probably know. But if you don't, a Merkmusic is a creator on YouTube that joined in around 2009. And he started doing guitar tutorials, which he's still really good at. But he changed to Call of Duty content. And then he started skyrocketing popularity around the Modern Warfare 3 era. Not the shitty Modern Warfare 3, the good one. His content really hasn't changed. He's still doing COD content almost daily. But some things have changed though, and that's obvious in terms of statistics. If you look, why are some videos not even crossing 100,000 views? For a person with 4 million, this should be an easy benchmark to hit. In fact, his subscriber growth is 0.009 over 3 years. With someone with this big of a subscriber base, you would think that crossing 100,000 views per video would be easy, and it should be.
I watch Merkmusic a lot.
But there has obviously been something that happened, and there's a reason why in 3 years there has been a 0.009 subscriber growth. This is absolutely horrendous. These are good numbers, don't get me wrong, but for this big of a subscriber base, this is abysmal. So what happened between now and then? The thing that made Merkmusic so damn successful, so addicting, and so good to watch. You have personality, editing, and crew. These 3 pillars are what made Merkmusic so damn good, and arguably this is what make any YouTuber in the gaming scene so damn good in general. But I want you to remember these, they're important. And starting with pillar number 1, with the editing, Eric's editing style was trailblazing at the time. It was different, it was new, it was fresh. The idea of subtitling words wasn't new. YouTubers like KYR Speedy had been doing this. You know, putting a
No, I won't.
subtitle to emphasize a word that someone's saying. However, he freshened this up a little bit. He started doing something that was pretty simple, and it was simply these. That's it. These little faces were just the integral part of what made Merkmusic so damn unique. They would be PNGs, like transparent pictures, they would be GIFs, they would be whatever. What this did is it allowed to convey emotions that weren't typically doable through voice communication over games. This is definitely the precursor to the Russian Badger's puppet style animation and thereafter a motion capture animation style, but these were one of the key parts of what made Merk so good. Now I'm going to show you 2 clips, one with captions in the faces and one without. And I just want you to just observe to see what the difference is.
I swear to fucking God, your goddamn jokes! Ah! God, I just am a fucking snake! God, there's gonna be a fucking bucket of sweat by my tits by the time this is done.
I swear to fucking God, you're goddamn sound! God, I just am a fucking snake! God, there's gonna be a fucking bucket of sweat by my tits by the time this is done.
There was another thing too. Eric decided to make his own sound effects based on previous videos. So what that looks like is someone in his crew or himself would say something memorable, and it would become a sound bite used later on. These sound effects weren't just unique and literally one of a kind because he made them. They were a fan service. Now, a fan service is basically just paying service to fans that have been watching for a while. So you have the new audiences finding it funny, but then you have the fan service of the previous people being like, huh, that's from this video. So you have this...
Made this, wait. Brian Food? Yeah, he did pretty good on this editing on this video. This is really good. Yeah, he'll get into details.
Dopamine cycle of, oh, I know what this is from, and then the new people are like, that's funny. But then they go back and look into his catalog to see where that came from. So you see how this kind of revolutionized the editing game as a whole. But there's another part. Personality was a huge factor with Eric's growth on his channel. And at first his camera presence wasn't present, but he evolved and learned over time and quickly took to being in front of a camera like it was you were there. It was your friend, he was your friend, you guys talked. Like this was a tabletop conversation. He eventually offered what a lot of creators did individually. Like for example, you remember those Rage compilations that like FaZe Jev would do and they would just get absolutely pissed?
Fucking compete!
People love to see that. And that was another thing that Merk did. These are just one of the examples of, wow, he has everything to offer. Now, other YouTubers were catching on to this kind of editing style. YouTubers were still doing long cuts. A gaming clip would go past like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. This was, nothing wrong with it. But the thing is that over time, people's attention spans have been getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and gone were the days of the 2000s where you could do one long take and that was acceptable. Merkmusic knew that and factored that in. So he kind of started doing this thing that now every single creator does if they have a compilation or a montage. Quick, decisive, and funny cuts. Just a barrage of personality, humor, and just quotable moments. These were made him. Whether you personally like that style or not is negligible. It's the way the world is right now, and YouTubers like KYR Speedy did this first. However, they didn't have the face. They didn't have the person to associate that with. To sprinkle it all on top, there was still another part of this 3-pillar formula, and it was... Now, the crew was arguably the most integral part of what made Merk's content his. You had a crew of different people. You had
Mike was the best. His brother, oh my god, he was the best. Benji Omar was the best.
Had Matt, Mike, Tina, She Knives. You had Omar. You had good old Benji. And this isn't even all of them. This is just a few of the notable ones and the frequent flyers, if you will. These were who made the Merkmusic identity. It wasn't one person anymore. It was all of these people. And sure, they had their own pages, they had their own channels, but that's not what mattered. It was this melting pot of people. And the problem was that, over time, people grow up, and this was a relatively young channel, and everyone grew up as they went on, so people started to get a little distant. And that's fine. But the problem is like, imagine you're watching your favorite TV show, and you lose, like, your main character, right? People would tune in just for that one character. And this was the same idea with Merkmusic's identity, too. For example, there is a video called Shit Mike Says, and this is a fan service video and was one of the highest viewed videos on his channel for a good reason. Mike and Matt, it's 2 M's, They didn't have any real, like, big channels that uploaded consistently. So you had to tune in. You had to see what they were saying because there was nowhere to look, and people would tune in just for that person. This is where you start to get a reliance on other people, and your identity doesn't start to be you anymore. It's not one host with a background cast. You are one collective. And this is exactly where the vulnerability started to show in Merkmusic's channel. So what happens when you lose this cast entirely? Well, you get something called around early to mid 2020, not a great year for anybody, COVID, Rona, whatever. People started noticing a shift in Eric's content, but this wasn't a normal shift. The crew, Pillar 3, wasn't showing up in Eric's videos anymore. It was common to see people kind of dip out for a while, and people would ask, like, hey, where did X and X go? We were getting to a point where we didn't see anybody but Eric. That's not a bad thing in itself, but the problem is that your audience is expecting your identity now. This isn't you with everyone else. You are one collective. And that's something Eric failed to understand, and that's kind of what started this downfall. Now, in October of 2020, Mike, which was like one of the biggest frequent flyers on the channel, made a series of tweets explaining where he went in Eric's content. And I'm not going to read all of this, but I'll give you a glance. I'll let you take a look.
That's old stuff. Yeah.
I made this little timeline here, and this is stage 3. We're going to circle back to stage 2 and 1 here in a minute, but this is stage 3. And if you look, there's a little bit more. So buckle up. But what most people didn't know is that good old Benji, She Knives, and a few other people had also been blocked. Nothing initiated this. Nothing started. Nothing, no fights, no disagreements, no monetization issues, no nothing. In fact, Omar had received financial help from Eric, and he bought him a console. And he was going to pay him back, and maybe that's what started it, but that doesn't explain why everyone else was blocked. So you have this predicament of what the fuck happened. Shortly thereafter, everyone else noticed they were blocked and unfriended on literally everything as well. Xbox, PlayStation, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even the Origins game launcher, which isn't a thing anymore, but it's literally just for launching games, but you can friend people on it. But they were blocked on there too. So this was very thorough. This wasn't a spur of the moment. This was deliberate. But for what reason? Using literally the only communication method Mike had left, Mike sent Eric an email. No response to this email. Omar also made a series of tweets thereafter. No response from them either, and in fact, they were blocked outright. Omar's thread was more in-depth. It was explaining how he didn't have the funds to do this stuff full-time, and he had a life to tend to, and he didn't talk to him for a few weeks, and then a few months, and then this happened. 8 Thoughts, which, regardless of how you feel about him, was a drama YouTuber before getting banned off the platform, and he started talking about what is happening with the Merc situation, gathering all the evidence, and, telling everybody. The problem is that he put a lot of his opinions in there, and it became an opinion piece, and his opinions weren't that favorable in the community, so it discredited everything factual that he was saying. The only chance that everyone had to get through to Eric was turned on deaf ears because 8 Thoughts was being a selfish prick and tried to vent out his thoughts instead of conveying the facts like I'm trying to do here. All this did was make Eric look more credible for doing what he did, because people have a tendency to villainize the other person when they see someone is blatantly in the wrong. Take the Trump and Biden administration or the election. People voted for Biden not because they don't know his policies, they don't know who he stands with, but they don't like Trump. So they just voted the other way. Same thing. People don't like 8 Thoughts, they don't like what he said, so they side with Merk. They don't know what the fuck he did, but they sided with him anyway. Now this leads to Karina making tweets. Now we'll get into who Karina is later, but Karina is Eric's fiance at this point. And she made a series of tweets that were, and I don't say this lightly, pretty toxic. Very accusatory and very contorting the way it was sold to people. And I'll flash this up here. The only real thing that you need to pull from this is the ending statement, which I find humorous. Nothing was done to hurt people intentionally. What the fuck are you talking about? Now, this is an opinion side. This is discarding the facts for a second. Well, it's not discarding the facts, but you get what I mean.
Okay.
Why the fuck would you block everybody for no reason, unwarranted attack on people's, like, living, honestly? Because I can imagine that some of this was income. You know, some of Merkmusic's channel was income from the crew. She Knives actually edited for Merk, and I believe so did Omar. But why would this be considered to be not hurt intentionally, or whatever the fuck she said? I digress. That's simply bullshit. Sue me, because that's what that is. Now, this is stage 4. I haven't been using this enough, but this is when you start to see video titles and descriptions scrubbed of everyone's names. Like, the friends he would put in his descriptions and titles were renamed. Even people's faces who were in the thumbnail were changed to admittedly kind of stock images. Now, these videos weren't just like the recent ones. Literally, videos going back to 2011 are being scrubbed of everyone. So he has around, I think, 5,000 videos. So he went through 5,000 videos. Or maybe he just searched everybody's names individually, but it wasn't an easy task. And he just changed everything. So, again, this was premeditated and not haphazard. These title and description changes were very much planned. Now, this kind of leads up to stage 5, which you start seeing videos just deleted in mass. These were videos with the focus being on their friends. So remember that video I was talking about earlier, like the shit Mike says and the shit... There was one for almost every member of the main crew. I think there was 3. Some of these made sense. You know, they weren't very sensitive, I guess. They're not very profitable. They're not good to someone's image outside of the scope of a few years. You know, reading Pornhub comments and Xbox messages that are just literally people shouting racial slurs. You know, that makes sense, I guess. It was a different time back then. I can't say in good conscience that you would just delete a video outright that you spent hours in editing without some kind of outside force, you know, forcing you to. Whether that's YouTube, whether that's someone else. That's speculation, but I digress. Now, at this point, the court of public opinion started kind of forgetting about what Merkmusic did. And that's normal. The small community of 4 million subscribers started wondering, hey, Eric, where is everybody? Because during stage 4 and 5, you had this condensing of Eric's channel to kind of be very limited to only he wants to hear, and it made it a bubble. A lot of things were kind of censored to make brand image look better. When this community started asking where everybody went, it wasn't a, hey, we're not friends anymore, or a mature response. It was a series of heinous actions in the scene of YouTube, like things that, like, if there was a rule book, this would be up there, and like, don't do that shit. Eric live streams on YouTube and Twitch. In the live streams, people were asking, hey, where did these people go? First, the chat keeps moving, and he would just ignore the chat when those things would come up. After Karina started getting more involved, which was Eric's fiance, there's actually proof that Eric's fiance, Karina, was actually monitoring these chats. If someone would ask about a former friend, the chats would just be deleted. Now, I guess there's nothing bad about that. You know, people can monitor their chats. It's their space. This is where it gets unacceptable, at least to me. People started donating money because, you know, when you donate money on a live stream chat, these things get highlighted. Those chats get highlighted. They get pushed up to the top for a little bit, too. There was a few chats asking where everybody went. Instead of Eric answering this responsibly and maturely, he drops his head, he sighs and shakes his head, and deletes the chat. Oh boy. Now, mind you, when you delete a super chat, these don't get refunded. So someone donated $20, multiple people donated $20, I believe $35, and a $10. So he just took these people's money with absolutely no refund, no repercussions. I think that's fucking ridiculous that you're deleting someone else's chat to maintain a bar of censorship that you self-imposed on yourself because you started this. Not much happened after this, except a few smaller creators started making really fucking low effort videos. Like, it's just gameplay and you're touting the same nonsense 8 Thoughts did. So Merk understandably blocked these people because it was speculative information. Besides, I think his name was Delio. His was actually researched, but it was still just gameplay. And unless the video is like super long, I don't think gameplay is a good thing to put in your videos when you have content you're presenting. It's like having a school presentation and like, this is the mitochondria. This is the powerhouse of the cell. And then you have a Subway Surfer video in your presentation. Like these things don't correlate. It discredits what you're trying to say. Words, totally censorable words that should not be allowed in anyone's chats. Like, Mike, Matt, Tina, Omar started being auto-deleted in Merk's comment sections. Why? Well, we can't have people asking where they went. We can't have people wondering what happened to one of our 3 pillars that made my brand identity. Eric must have forgotten his channel's homepage because according to the Time Machine, the Wayback Machine, the homepage recommended where it has like, hey, show these creators.
Oh my God.
It's a customizable bar, and you can pick whatever channels you want. Was recommended, and it had all of his friends there. Don't worry. He scrubbed them. They're gone now. But this was way after, and he blocked everyone first. So he must have forgotten that part. I skipped over stages 1 and 2 for a reason, and here's why. Eric met this lady named Karina on Snapchat. People started getting worried because YouTube audiences are fucking cancer sometimes, and they're like, oh, a girl, bros before hoes, just being complete assholes. The thing that started this meetup was something a little strange. I did a little research here. Karina messaged Merkmusic on Snapchat. Now, his Snapchat was private at the time. When you have a private Snapchat, there is one of 2 ways to get to it. You need a username that needs to be typed in. It needs to be physically typed into the search bar. It's not a recommended thing. You know, that you can't just press one button and it's a friend request. Or you need a QR code from someone who's already a friend with them. Most likely it's going to be the username option because people can give out usernames pretty frequently. The QR code's a little bit harder because you have to pull up someone's friend, show it, and whatever. Maybe Karina saw Eric on the recommended
the code
thing. You know, it shows
now
all your recommended friends, and maybe like she just clicked it. No. Here's why. The algorithm that Snapchat uses for recommended people is based on 3 things. People you know, location, and there's another factor.
My Snapchat is not based on location. It is literally based on it's based on how many people that I have. And my Snapchat is just totally gross and just everywhere.
Fuck. Mutual friends, location, and other interactions within the app to generate these suggestions. If a suggested contact is not in your contact lists, it may be recommended based on the mutual connections or other factors within the Snapchat ecosystem. And there's a whole thing with Snapchat's privacy policy I'm not even going to get into, but I fucking read it. My point with all of that is that Karina specifically seeked out Eric's Snapchat. Not necessarily that weird, but it's a little weird because you don't know this guy and you just decided to, seek this man out. So this was premeditated. It wasn't like, oh, he's cute, let me Snapchat him really quick. You sought out this Snapchat information to friend him. One thing I kind of want to put out there too is can you imagine if a man did this, like an average fan did this, hunted Eric's Snapchat down? Like, what if I did that? What if I hunted his Snapchat down just to text him? That would be considered unacceptable, but because it was humorous or whatever he saw in that, it was okay. Now, the conversation went like, here, I'll let Eric explain it.
And in between lobbies, I decided to check my phone. I was checking Snapchat, and I got added by someone. So I added this person back, and then I got a message from her saying, hey, guess what? And obviously I replied back saying what? And then she's...
It's actually insane that he was just scrolling through Snapchat. Like, he must have had 100,000, thousands upon thousands of Snapchat ads because of how famous he is still back in that day. Like, it's insane that Karina was just that one That one itself.
said chicken butt, and it was super corny, but it was interesting to me. For whatever reason, it was enough to get my attention at that point. I was intrigued, and I kept messaging. And in less than a week's time, I realized how compatible we were and that we were clicking really well. And she just asked me, what exactly are we? And I said, we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Eric decided to fly out from, I believe, Florida to Washington to meet Karina. Perfectly fine. And in fact, I've had online friends that do that here. But here was the issue. Eric decided to, on the first face-to-face interaction that she ever had with him, or vice versa, he had ever had with Karina, Eric proposed in marriage to Karina.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he proposed within like the day that they met. Which again, they're still married to this day right now. But I don't know why he did that though. Like, that's insane that he did that really fast like that.
So this is where things get dicey and subjective, so I'm going to be as level-headed as humanly possible. Everyone, including 8 Thoughts, mentioned this as being, hey, you might be rushing into this, not because it was a critique or a hate thing, but because, Eric, you had an identity to uphold, and when you jump into these things, you risk subjecting yourself to drama, to marriage issues, like legal issues, and just all around shit you don't need. And I know that, and I'm exponentially younger than him. You can't just meet someone for the first time and be like, hey Joe, you're we've been talking to a little bit on Snapchat a little bit.
Snapchat is crazy though.
I do. Like, no, you don't fucking do that. That's some high school shit. That's a big teddy bear with a chocolate flowers thing. Like, that's fucking dumb. So someone he's never met in person, never lived with, never went through those trivial problems that come with moving in with someone, living with someone, financial problems, like shared income, not even considered. Now, don't get this twisted. I'm very, very happy that someone like Eric, who is that hardworking, has someone he is very happy with, and I don't know about Karina enough to talk about her. I'm not going to act like I do. I'm just pointing out the really strange things. This is kind of what outraged fans. This is what 8 Thoughts started his debacle with. 8 Thoughts' conversation was like, hey, I've had multiple wives. I know what this looks like. Just be careful. Obviously, it was a little more spiteful than that, but that's kind of what it started out with, and Eric kind of contorted that into, fuck you, you're being hateful and you're being an asshole, and you need to stop hating on our relationship. You know what you're talking about. Missed the point completely. And 8 Thoughts replied to this, but it doesn't matter. After after stage 1, you started seeing this downtick in uploads. There was like no uploads for like a solid, I think it was like 2 months. He's like, sorry guys, I'm back. Like, okay, but whatever. What's funny is that stage 2, which was Eric proposing to Karina, immediately, literally within a span of a week, led to Benji being blocked first. Ben was the first one to go, but then Tina was the first one to go. Before they even proposed, I think Tina was blocked first, and then it was Ben. But what's hilarious to me is that this would never happen of his own accord. Eric wouldn't just be like, hey, Tina, one of my editors and friends, obviously, but from a business standpoint, we'll just say editor. Fuck him. Boom. Fuck him. You wouldn't do that unless you have something very, very heavy-handed and ulterior that you have been looking at. Not saying Karina did it. Just saying that it's very coincidental. Within, I think it was after stage 2 that Karina started monitoring Eric's streams. So Karina kind of inserted herself in the moderation of chats, which is strange. Eric would obviously say, I wanted this to happen, but it's not really something I can imagine him being like, hey, you want to monitor my Twitch chats? Like, can you imagine if I did that with my partner? Just be like, hey, babe, you want to monitor my fucking YouTube comments? Sure, honey. Like, no, that's not something you do, especially with a relationship that's that fucking fresh. There's just not a fucking chance. So that leaves us here. The Merkmusic channel is statistically pretty much dead. Now, when I say dead, I say very loosely. Dead is a very thrown around term. Still uploads as of 2024. However, statistically, what a fucking fall from grace. But I can't even say a fall from grace because that would insinuate that this was an accident. This was done not intentionally. And like I said before, within the span of 3 years, Eric's channel has gotten 0.009% growth in 3 years. This is abysmal. Like, let's just say it's been a slow 3 years, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say these are great numbers for a channel of his size. It's not at all. If you look through his channel, it's not until you scroll past 612 videos, and I got this by multiplying 153 columns by 4 rows each. Yes, I scrolled through every single one, but it's not until you see 612 videos down until you see a video within the past year that has broken 1 million views. Kind of a tell sign, Eric, just a little tell. I kind of kicked myself.
Wait. I'm gonna see how he is. Like, let's see if these are still stats that he go 60, 45, 50, 60. Now, the only reason why he does 100K is because of like 19. But he's averaging, he's only averaging like 30 to like 60. He'll have these one moments where he does the 12 years later, but like he's in the 60s. If it's a leak update, then it would get high, but that's probably the algorithm playing the algorithm. But he did that because that guy died. I watch his videos only because it's like, you know, I miss the old days of him, but you know, he doesn't. I forgot the update on this.
A little bit and had to do that again because it doesn't really count because it's like a big production video. You know, there's like big productions and then your daily content. This is kind of a big production video. So if you wanted to scroll down more to find a daily video that broke 100 million views, you'd have to scroll down an additional 164 videos, 41 columns by 4 videos per row, just to get to a video that broke 1 million. A little weird. So, from a statistic standpoint, Merk's channel's dead. And how do I put this nicely? There's no chance Eric and Karina view this video, and if they did, they would have blocked me by now. There's not a chance. But if there is one thing I had to say to Eric about this whole thing, this is what I'd have to say. It's kind of hard to read, to be honest. Dear Merkmusic, you along with other creators pulled me through the darkest places of my life. I was in an abusive household, bouncing from medication to medication at the age of 5, and was dealing with the age of my brother at a very young age. I thank you for everything you've done for me personally and for the hundreds of millions of others you've also impacted. If there's one thing you've taught me, it's that friends make life not only tolerable and manageable, but fun again through the fucking most dark times and terrible times. But you abandoned the very thing that made you who you are as a—
Wait. The guy said that She Knife still makes videos. Oh my god, Tony playing this game. It was. He is horrible.
As a person and as a YouTube content creator. And for that, I wish you not even a sliver of the success that you have gotten in the past. And that is something that I was very hesitant to put in this, but I stand on it. Though you have gone back to your goofy and silly self, your brand identity is still a shell of what it once was, and you deserve it. I won't speak on your relationship with Karina because it's no one's place but your guys' own, but I wish you'd simply make amends to the people who made you. And to the viewers of this video, thank you for watching and sticking around, but unlike Eric, I don't make money off these videos, and so a like and subscribe is free, and it's payment enough if you enjoy this content. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you I hope you gathered the right information. I'm not redoing this take. I hope you learned something today. But most importantly, go outside, touch grass, and stay hungry. Now, this is where the controversy starts.
Yeah, it was kind of sad that he died like that. Even, I mean, YouTube videos go down like that. But Merk definitely went down. Let's see if this guy still makes videos. No, it's only this video. It's been 2 years. Alright, yeah, honestly.
Guys, this is Merkmusic, and welcome to Call of Duty Ghosty Poos 13 years later. I'm putting in the Xbox 360 version of the game into my Xbox right now, but I did finally reinstall COD Ghost Xbox One Edition, and there it goes. I mean, it is the more potato-y looking version of the game, but I'm curious to see if Ghost is still alive or if it's dead in 2026. And honestly, the only way to do that is to check both versions of the game. So I wanted to be fair. I wanted to make sure that I had both versions of the game installed, so that's what we're going to be checking today. Oh, the music. We're connecting to Xbox Live. FOP, fetching online profile. Oh my god! You guys are not gonna believe me when I say this, but there's legitimately only 18 people playing COD Ghosts on Xbox 360 in 2026. Damn. I almost just shed a tear like that. That's really crazy. I've got to see what the Ghosty Poos are playing. Okay, there's only actually 16 people in the multiplayer playlists. None of them are playing hardcore or clan versus clan. That's a big shocker. If I check the standard playlist, yet literally every single player is just subscribed. This is a red though, man. Oh my god, we got a hacker. And they're voting for Stonehaven. I mean, I'll take Stonehaven over Prison Break, I'm not gonna lie. That is a wild name. I can't even censor this. His name is Dream on Dick Fucker and then just a bunch of H's. That is a crazy name. I'm sure it's only gonna get worse. I don't know if we could trust playing this game. Is Ghosty Poos on the 360 just not safe anymore? Is this game also falling victim to the hackers, much like a lot of the other older Call of Duty titles? Like, that's just wild. I did not have Ghost on my bingo list for old COD games to get hacked. They're trying to merge us with another lobby. But the game has to understand this is the only lobby in the world. Oh, it actually did. I just decided to look at the cheater's profile. This guy only has 10 hours. He's got a 2.4 win loss, a 4 KD. And look at his recent games. He's dropping like 9 KDs. This is about to be terrible. I'm gonna leave. Let's see if we can find a different map. Yeah, we got the same exact lobby. Yay, I get to play against the cheater too. I get to experience Ronnie's world famous glizzies. What am I getting into today? I don't know about you guys though. I loved this K7 SMG. This thing was a lot of fun to use. It made me feel like I was using the MP5. Although I'm pretty sure it's just like some kind of made up gun. That's right. This game doesn't have proper YYing for some reason. Ah! I'm getting wall hacked. Yeah, okay, so he's just spin botting. Cool, what an amazing kill cam. Good job, buddy. We're very proud of you. They blew his ass up with C4. Let's go. We got a kill. Let's go. Take that, Taco Man. And there he goes again. I mean, he's just so much better than us, you know? He's just got perfect accuracy shooting at the ground. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you just need to get a better gaming chair. Someone got kicked for an activity. I'm pretty sure he just doesn't want to play against this. I gotta step it up, man. I mean, okay, we have a host migration. Did he get banned? No, he's still in here. He just killed a guy while we're loading back in. He's going 14-1. There he goes. I killed him. Fuck you. Well, guys, I think I see why the Xbox 360 player count for Ghosty Poos is so low. We have a serial cheater, a spin botter, ruining the matches. Why would anyone want to stay on this version of Ghost when they can play a version that doesn't have people running around cheating like, I mean, look at this guy. What a surprise. I'm gonna blow him up. This game is just so good. It's so good, man. And since I don't have a way of talking to people on the Xbox, I don't know why he keeps forcing a host migration. This guy's clearly the host. He's clearly, cheating. Okay, he ended the game. He was just getting tired of winning. Well, really, I should say tired of losing because this guy is a loser. You're a loser. This guy is a prime example of cheaters that actually ruin the experience. Like, they're not doing anything fun with their cheats. They're just spin botting. They're shooting people through walls. It's not fun. And I'm sorry to say this, guys, but Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox 360 is basically dead. Like, there's just not really a point of playing this version. Found the version, which is looking much better. If you take a look at multiplayer, okay, still no one's playing hardcore. They're playing, okay, they're all, okay, it's chainsaw. Hopefully we don't have any cheaters on this version of the game. Oh my god, I swear I heard someone throwing something over here. He's got a thermal maverick. Ew. What's so funny about Ghost is that things like the tracker sight and the thermal, they were so useful because of how hard it was to see people. Characters blended in very well and the visibility was, you know, just not the best. But at the same time, it is also kind of realistic because, you know, soldiers are blending in. We have camouflage and stuff. Oh yeah, dude, Chainsaw's going in, bro. Oh, this blast the Satcom. Wait, where's my Snoop Dogg announcer? That's like the whole reason you get on and play this game. Oh, that's right. Maybe I need to install the voice pack. I think only the base game installed, so I don't... Oh. I have no idea why that happened. Oh yeah, I don't even have the extra loadouts downloaded. Let's see, announcer voice defaults. I don't have Snoop Dogg. I'm going to the store.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Big Snoop Deal.
Thank you, Snoop Dogg. I'm gonna download your voice pack now.
We got Snoop Dogg, dude. Oh, and I got my extra slots. Dude, that's so crazy how fast it just appears. But yeah, another big reason why I wanted to get back on COD Ghost today is because I put out this tweet saying, plot twist, Infinity Ward isn't making Modern Warfare 4. Makes COD Ghost 2 instead. Campaign finally gets a sequel. Ties the story into the current Modern Warfare timeline to set up Modern Warfare 4. Extinction mode returns. And Ghost 2 multiplayer fixes all the problems that Ghost had. Would you take this over Modern Warfare 4? And I'm very curious to know, would you guys take Ghost 2 if it was like this over Modern Warfare 4? Let me know in the comments right now. I put this tweet out and I did not expect it to blow up, but I've been getting so many different responses and it's very interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see how many people would actually like to see Ghost 2 regardless of what I said. Like, they just like Call of Duty Ghosts. But then there's also people that just don't like Ghosts. They don't want to see it. They're not even necessarily interested in seeing what Infinity Ward's gonna make this year.
Team Deathmatch.
Hey, we got Snoop Dogg, let's go. But yeah, there's all kinds of different responses to that tweet. And the more that I've thought about it, the more I've kind of realized that Infinity Ward kind of has the same track record no matter what game they've made.
We lost the lead, you monkey-ass trick.
Snoop, I'm trying. Don't call me name, Snoop Dogg. I'm trying my hardest. He's blaming me for everything, but I got my tracker sites, Honey Badger. What I've noticed over the years is that Infinity Ward is pretty consistent and actually delivering pretty good narratives, whether that's the story, the raids in Modern Warfare 2. Spec Ops might be up for debate depending on what game you're talking about, but DMZ was also pretty solid as well. Did this guy come out of spawn? What the... I'm knifing him. But yeah, I think overall Infinity Ward does a pretty good job of making campaigns and telling stories and stuff. And depending on the game as well, they also usually do a pretty good job when it comes to trying to innovate with different systems. They don't always get it right. But like we've seen with the recent revival and resurgence of Modern Warfare 2019, even though not everyone necessarily likes the multiplayer, they can at least agree that the graphics of Modern Warfare 2019 were very gorgeous. Like, they did a really good job with the look of the game, the aesthetics and the style of the game as well. And this is just my opinion, but I feel like they really nailed it with the original gunsmith that they had in Modern Warfare 2019. I've already talked about this quite a bit, so I'm not gonna dive into it super deep right now. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes Infinity Ward does a pretty good job when it comes to innovating different features and different systems in the games. We went 10-2. That was actually pretty good. 5 KD. But as I was saying, they don't always get it right. We've seen them mess this up pretty badly. And honestly, Ghost is kind of one of those examples. For example, here in Ghosty Poos, they got rid of Classic Prestige in favor of this Soldier system. Now, thankfully, it was still kind of close to Classic Prestige, and it wasn't as bad as seasonal leveling like Modern Warfare 2019 also introduced. But I mean, dude, just look at this perk system. This was an absolute disaster for Call of Duty Ghosts. I know people have varying different opinions about the perk system in Ghosts, but honestly, at least compared to like COD 4 through Modern Warfare 3, at that time, that perk system was damn near perfect because they went from the perk system in COD 4, and the Infinity Ward team at that time refined it with Modern Warfare 2. They took out Juggernaut, they added pro perks and stuff like that. Now, granted, One Man Army definitely needed some tweaking, but when it came time to release Modern Warfare 3, they pretty much had it all figured out. The perk system was way more balanced, there was way less BS, while still having pro perks and also introducing specialist bonus for the first time. Honestly, the OG Modern Warfare 3 is so underrated. Why are you watching that?
Wow, camp in the middle.
Yeah, your calling card is right. Larking around. It's more like camping around like a little bitch. The Ghost campers are just next level, bro. I don't know how they do it. Jump shotting. Drop shotting. Check those fucking corners. The fucking noob tubing. Oh my gosh! I got shot through a wall. Dude, this person is... Why are you playing this way? This is so gross. Oh, it outlines me too? Yep, that's because of one of the billions of perks in the game, I'm sure. I wanted to use the Brecci of the game, but nope. They're not having it. Oh my... This is so unbelievably trash. I mean, what is that? Do they have all the wallbang spots memorized? Are they cheating too? I don't know. Oh, the 9-bang hit someone. Whoa, I got 5,000 XP. Captain Price dabbing in the middle of the map. I've got to change guns. I can't move. This might be one of the... Oh my... Captain Price, what are you doing? I was going to say, this is some of the worst Ghosty Poos I played in a hot minute.
Enemy getting a special delivery.
Oh, they got a special delivery. It's called my foot up your ass. I'm coming for you. Look at you little campers. Yeah? That... What? I don't even, like... I don't think this is legit. They're 9-0. They haven't died. They've just been pre-firing walls. Like, I don't know, man. Especially after playing on the 360. I don't know what to believe. This might be the roughest state I've ever seen Ghost in. Like, genuinely. Look how they're pre-firing. Look at that. How do you know? You don't even have a single streak up. Yeah, they're cheating, bro. They got walls. Look at that. This is actually so sad. Dude, you guys are so pathetic.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Snoop, that is the last thing I needed to hear right now. I might just diarrhea. All I know is that this isn't right. I'm gonna leave. Something was diabolically wrong with that lobby. I don't know what's happening to Ghost, but I'm gonna try to find a different match. If you put me in the same game, okay, we got Octane. I think I would have fully crashed out if I got the same lobby, but yeah. The point I was trying to make, though, is that sometimes Infinity Ward will take a leap of faith. They'll try new things, they'll try something unique, and sometimes it sticks and sometimes it works, and then other times it fails miserably. Just look at Modern Warfare 22 with the charging perk system that absolutely no one wanted or asked for. And then on top of that, they doubled down and they didn't want to budge. They didn't want to change the system. They absolutely have had this track record of wanting to try new things, but then when it backfires or if people don't like it, they're not really willing to change or adapt to that system. They just leave it as is. I'm gonna C4 them. Blow them up. Yeah. Filthy campers. Campers wear pampers, don't you know that? I'm switching to Jadingalage Morgoon. Wait a second, bro. His last name's Morgoon? Ew. That's crazy. They must have somehow predicted that. These classes look pretty garbage too. Like, what was I doing, man? A vector with no attachments? Can I switch to Osmotaz quick? Osmotaz has trash. Oh my. We got Stormfront TDM. This is gonna be so slow. Dude, what's so crazy about this map is that I have this core memory of another stupid thing that Infinity Ward did around this time. I'm not sure how many of you guys might remember this, but they tried to innovate the challenge system by only allowing you to do one challenge at a time. Imagine you're trying to do the multiplayer 100%er challenges, but you can only do one challenge at a time and you can't progress anything else. That's what Ghost did at launch, and thankfully they did undo that terrible decision. But back then, it was one of the wildest decisions. You had to choose one specific challenge to go for, and then you had to do it before you could do anything else. It was crazy how bad that decision was. And I swear, bro, it's like some people forget that this stuff happens, but I mean, that's Ghost multiplayer for you. So yeah, overall, I think Infinity Ward does a pretty good job when it comes to campaigns and stuff, and sometimes they can knock it out of the park when it comes to different like systems and features and innovations, but sometimes they also really get it wrong, and then they don't budge. Now, I do think it's fair to point out that COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, and the OG Modern Warfare 3, all three of those games were developed by the original Infinity Ward team, and that team went on to form Respawn Entertainment, so I'm not talking about those games. I'm only talking about COD, Ghost, Infinite Warfare, and like all the new Modern Warfare games, except for, you know, Modern Warfare 3, because Sledgehammer was the lead dev on that one. So yeah, when it comes to the new Infinity Ward multiplayer games, I feel like it's kind of hit or miss. Like, they get some things right. Bro, this map flow is non-existent.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my god! People will just randomly appear and you have to react faster. Or have a thermal at all times so you can actually see them. This game is insane, dude. But yeah, when it comes to the new Infinity Ward multiplayers, you know, some people like them and some people just absolutely despise the decisions they make. This is such an annoying, obnoxious playstyle, just camping a top area with a marksman rifle that 2 shots. So boring, dude. Fuck! I'm really hoping that Ghosty Poos doesn't put me to sleep before I can make my points. I feel like the game that can best illustrate the point I'm trying to make is that Modern Warfare 3, the new one that was developed by Sledgehammer, that just kind of proved that if they listen to feedback and if they put a lot of time and effort into not only listening to the community, but also having a lot of post-launch support, they can make a great multiplayer game. And they proved that with the new Modern Warfare 3. They took the existing gameplay of Modern Warfare 2, you know, the fundamentals, but then they listened to feedback and they tweaked things. But in my opinion, at least, Modern Warfare 3 is one of the better new COD multiplayer games that we've had. And all Infinity Ward needs to do is just take some notes from Sledgehammer Games on how to listen to feedback and how to have an amazing post-launch content pipeline. If they can do that stuff, then Modern Warfare 4, Ghost 2, whatever the game could be, it could end up being amazing.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Yeah, keep it up, Stu. Dude, I'm saying we need to have some voice announcer packs in the new COD games. It's genuinely so funny. And I understand that we have operators now, so, you know, the operators have their own voice lines. But what they could do instead is they could sell voice packs for the multiplayer announcers and stuff, you know, so it doesn't have to be tied to a specific operator. Also, we won that match. It went to time, and we won 38-31. That's how slow TDM is on this map. And IED is the final kill, which is just so sad. But I was actually the best player in here. I won 17-7. It's crazy how well you can do with actually age the surroundings. Like, it happens more on this map than Stonehaven. And don't get me wrong, Stonehaven's a pretty terrible map too. But for some reason, the way that people play... That's what I'm saying! On this map, thermal LMG laying on the ground's like, holy fuck, so much worse. At least this guy's moving. I'm missing my shots, that's on me. I don't know, I mean, I haven't gotten Stonehaven today, but the last couple times I've played and I've gotten Stonehaven, people are actually moving around. Unlike this. Oh my, camping in a truck? Is he trying to blend in with the plants? Ah! He is! Someone is. Oh my god, where are you?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're not real. You're not real. Look at them. They're so bad too. The accuracy was terrible. I've got to find this guy. I feel like anytime I'm playing Ghost, it's just nothing but revenge killing campers. And I cannot stand that style of gameplay. Is he still here? No, that's just a log. Okay, cool. Someone else probably killed him.
Oh.
What? No fucking way! He was still there. Dude, yeah, I might have to stop sniping this match. This lobby's giving me hemorrhoids. Is this rat? He's still there. No, wait, what? That's not... What the fuck? Get out of my way! Teammate, I swear to God. He slid into the action.
Call of Duty Ghost.
Zesty bars. This guy with his thermal LMG. Oh, I hate this. I am hating everything about this lobby. Thankfully, we got our revenge. I'm taking his LMG. I'm gonna need it. Slide into the act. We gotta slide. Why can't I slide into the action, you idiot? There you go. Oh my. I'm going crazy. This game is driving me ballistic, like a ballistic vest. Is this guy still here? He was all the way back here, bro. Look at this. This is where he was camping. I didn't even know you could hide here. Because what kind of little bitch wants to play this way? Oh, someone did the tree evolution. I can cross safely now. Cool. I'm gonna play like this guy. I'm laying in the bush. Hit the deck. Spray! I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't play this. I'm just saying, man, there's something about this map. It has aged so poorly. Everyone plays this map with no shame. In my opinion, this is one of the worst TDM maps you could ever have the displeasure of playing. IED! How did you... He's just walking and threw it around. Moist Rambito. Your name is Moist Rambito. Isn't this? Someone's hiding in the tree, I swear. Where are you? Yep.
Alright. This is funny. I mean, I gotta do something, so...
It's the Ghost Leader. That's how they play this game, bro. I feel like what happened with Ghost is that people thought that...